end of the world's coming. It will level off and business will be back to usual. So I think that probably we're not going to go under completely, because I don't think the powers that be want that to happen, because we are the goose that laid the golden egg. So if we go under, they're not going to have anybody else to pillage. So I think they want the system to go on and be productive so that they can keep making their tax money. So I don't feel frightened about what's coming. The thing that frightens me is how government is now consolidating their power over the human being, over the human race. That's what's frightening to me. I'm not concerned about the economics, because people who are purely materialistic in their thinking, they're going to have a hard problem. But if you are spiritually in tune with the Spirit and depend on the Spirit of the universe to protect you, and keep the right attitude about your spiritual person of yourself with that divine force in the universe, I think that you'll be protected. You will come through this, because I place a lot of emphasis on spiritual protection, talking to the Spirit, asking for divine guidance and protection. But so many people do not have that ability to really tap into the Spirit. They're more religious, but religion's not going to save you. Religion is just a corporate game. So that's why I said before, if you can tap into your own spirituality and talk to the Spirit. This is just one man talking, just my opinion, but I'm going to tell you what I think the smart thing to do is. To find a place that when you're by yourself, and talk to the divine Spirit in the universe. Talk to the Spirit audibly, and ask the Spirit to protect you. Ask the Spirit to show you what it is you're supposed to do. What does the Spirit have in mind for you to do, and to protect you, etc. Talk to the Spirit as if you're talking to a very powerful king or a very powerful man, and be intelligent the way you're talking to the Spirit. Then, after asking the Spirit for protection and guidance, ask the Spirit to show you that it's hearing you. Say to the spirit world, show me that you're hearing me. Show me that you are hearing what I'm saying. Give me a sign that you're hearing me. And you'll be surprised what will happen. You would be shocked at some of the things that might happen to you. Things might start opening up to you, opportunities opening up to you that your neighbors don't have. Why, Bill? You ask and you receive. Like the Bible has Jesus saying, you have not because you ask not. So I think it's wise to start looking more into the Spirit of God, so to speak, more into your own spiritual connection with the universe and asking for protection and guidance. And I'm not too worried about what the future holds. Again, I see the thing that I'm concerned about the future is how people are giving over their spirituality and their humanitarian, their humanism to a mechanized superstructure of some new world order. That's what frightens me. When people are giving their minds and their spirits over to the powers that be. That is very dangerous. That is frightening to me because it's going to impact our civilization. Sooner or later, it's going to begin to impact us. I mean, in this country, we love to brag about how we got computers that can think for themselves, but we can't think for ourselves. I mean, at least we got computers that can do it. You know, so I'm saying turn inward to your spiritual self and talk to the Spirit and ask the Spirit to protect you, guide you. And I think that doing that is a lot better than worrying about the economic situation, because I do believe that there is some kind of a spiritual matrix at work in the universe, and those who call upon the Spirit for protection and guidance will get it. So that's what I feel.
I just wanted to add one tiny little thing before, and just before David talks, and I apologize. You know, people talk about being a slave and being on the planet and so forth, and I just wanted to say that I'm not one. I'm not a slave to anyone at any time. I wake up every morning and make a conscious decision of what it is that I'm going to do, because no one can enslave my mind. And every time I walk down the street and I have communication with my heart and with my soul and with the flowers and the trees, and trust me, if you've ever taken a walk through the forest with me, it's like a really crazy scene, because I just am in joy, pure joy. I'm not enslaved. So I just wanted to say that, and thank you.
All right, well, I'm going to try to be laconic, as in the people of Lacone, who would say as little as possible to make their point. Rich and I both have not had anything to eat. We expected to be out of here by like 9:30, so we're actually starving to death up here. So that's just a tangible reality of our future, which is that we're going to be getting off stage very soon. I think that's a prophecy that we can make come true, buddy.
Yeah, I have to say that we're going to end this after you,
Okay.
David, and I know we have one question over here. So,
Yeah, I just have a biological need to, nourish this physical vehicle in some form. And
Right
I think we can get room service after 11 p.m. There's some kind of little menu they give you. But anyway, practical stuff here. You all know my background, and you know that I took remote viewing protocols and was able to use them to gain verbal information, which I call readings. Many other people call them readings. The difference between what I got and what most people get is that for the first several months, hardly any of it made any sense. It was all basically encrypted, and it required decoding. It took a long time to get it to the point where it actually made sense. But before that, I was doing dreams, and I've been doing dreams for 17 years. When I started to take clients for psychic readings, I would have a dream for the client the morning of the reading. And every time I had those dreams, they had astonishing clarity into the insights of that person's life, way beyond the level of what I could have known consciously. And this was a standard thing. It was just part of the job. I just would dream for that person whether I wanted to or not, and the dream would be extraordinarily relevant. I have had prophetic dreams for a long, long time, many, many cases of validation. I dreamed about Michael Jackson dying 6 weeks before he did. I was walking around with him, and he had a heart attack from the fear of his own public. He was terrified of the people. The thing that happened in this dream, and this is one of about 50 dreams that I'm in the process of compiling, is it told me that there was a group of people there, and they said it's such a shame that he passed away now because this huge change is about to happen in the world that he's been working for all of his life, and he wants to see this thing happen. Because what's going to happen is this massive, massive shift in the power structure and the balance from the masculine patriarchal way of doing things, reintegrating the feminine, the lunar, the sensitive, the emotional, and the compassion. On a practical level, before 9/11, I received a whole sequence of dreams where I saw the events very clearly. I saw planes crashing. I saw the economy going down. I saw towers falling. I saw actual missiles going into New York from many directions at one point. So they were metaphorical statements. Now, I have never, ever in my life had as many dreams about one upcoming future event as I have about what's going to be happening in the near future. I've never, ever had this much data. I am being guided as sternly as possible, morning after morning, dragged kicking and screaming, to be telling you guys that it appears that we are going to have a spectacular defeat of the New World Order Illuminati within the period that Bill has talked about. And I don't want to take my word for it, because a year from now somebody could download this video on YouTube and say, oh, David is full of it. But the fact is, I try to use my dream data as a nudge to figure out what's really out there, what's really the data that we can look at and tangibly measure and study, because I would never want to be somebody just making proclamations because take my word for it. Now what I see is that as of August 31st, China has basically said they will not honor derivatives contracts anymore, and that is enormous. Because what that means is, We have, as I said on the radio the other day, we have